Now let's go ahead and take a look at our source monitor panel and our program monitor panel. Up here at the top we can see it says source, no clips. That means I don't have any source clips opened to preview. So by just double clicking down here in my projects panel, I'm going to go ahead and double click on this 1203-20. I'm going to double click on that, and you can see here it opens in my source window. And what that's going to allow me to do is preview my video file by clicking the play button. I can toggle between stop and play. It shows me the duration of my clip. It allows me to change how large I'm looking at the file. And here we can see it only has a video component to it. There is no audio with it. So it's just a little scene of the Boston Harbor with the ship in it. So here we see we have some options down here to play our video. We can step through it. We can create in points and out points, and we can also insert this into our sequence. And we'll get into this in a lot more detail. Right now we're just looking at our workspace and becoming familiar with some of the components of our workspace that we'll be working with later. Over here on the right, you can see we have a different video preview over here. If I click play, you'll notice that the timeline here at the bottom, our sequence, is this red line, which is our current time indicator, our CTI, is moving in relationship to the video that we see in the program monitor. So the program monitor, let me go ahead and bring this back. The program monitor is our preview of our project. So once I start adding information to my timeline in my sequence, I can preview anything that I've done to this timeline, adding assets such as videos, audio, or still images, titles to my sequence. I can then preview in my program monitor. If I add transitions or special effects, I will also be able to preview these in the program monitor. So here the program monitor is telling us where we are in relationship to the length of our video in the timeline indicator or the current time indicator. So as you can see, I pull this out, this time here changes. I can also click and drag on the time to modify it, and you'll notice again that the time here is changing. The playhead position is also changing down here. So when I click and I drag, both are changing in both areas because those two things are related to each other. And over here on the right, I can see the duration that is on my timeline. So if I were to add another clip, let me go ahead and go to the end of my timeline. I can make sure I'm actually at the end of my timeline by pressing the end key on my keyboard. I'm going to go ahead and come back over to my source monitor, and I'm going to click on that insert button, and we're going to get into this a lot more detail. I'm just wanting to point out, you'll now notice that the amount of time on my duration has been modified to reflect both of those clips together. So now as I preview, and this is scrubbing by clicking and grabbing the current time indicator, I can scrub across my sequence to see very quickly any edits or effects that I've applied to my video, and I can preview those again in my program monitor. So the source monitor is used to preview any assets from your project panel or the media browser before you place them in a sequence. You can also do edits in that window, and the program monitor displays the contents of your timeline and shows your project in progress.